Scott, thanks for coming on for another podcast. The first thing I just sort of wanted to gauge off you was both as obviously a fan of Heaton Stan as well as a staff member. How much have you missed being at the football, and what would you say that you've most missed about being there, both as a fan and staff?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough time. From a personal perspective, the 4 months between December and now has been the longest time in my life that I've gone without some form of football. And you really notice it when it's taken away.
Yeah, definitely.
Really missed certainly the match day side of things, like the buzz of a match day, the social element that comes with it, the highs and the lows. It just leaves a big gap in your life, really, when you're used to that being there all the time. And then I guess off the pitch, sort of away from a match day, I mean, there's been some bits and pieces that I've been able to get on with. So it's not been the case that we've been doing absolutely nothing as a club. We've been trying to do some stuff behind the scenes to get us into a strong position for when things start up again. So that's kept me busy to a degree. But at the end of the day, it's all about the match day, and it's been a big miss. So it's been good this month getting back to that with the reserves and helping them on a match day and getting involved with their journey through the cup that they're in. And I'm looking forward to getting back to the first team stuff as we go into the pre-season build up for next year.
Yeah, definitely. I think when I've been looking into sort of well-being of football fans during lockdown, I've found out that it's a social interaction as well as the buzz of a match day that is one of the most important things to football fans, and it's probably one of the things that they miss the most about not being able to go. So you were saying about the reserves as well. So is that, would you say, one of the points where the club's progressed most over lockdown is the sort of focus on the reserve side as well?
Well, I guess that's been more the case just this last month. So when it was confirmed by the government that football could return in April, the Northern League decided not to go ahead with any sort of cup tournament. I just don't think the interest or the ability, the time scales to do it within. But the Northern Alliance, which is what our Heaton Stan A team play in, they decided to run a cup competition for each division in the Northern Alliance. So our second team are participating in that and have been since the beginning of the month. And they secured their spot in the semi-finals this week, which happens tomorrow. So they've got a semi-final match tomorrow, and we're hopeful they can get through to the final. So it's been a good journey. It's been good being a good part of that. You know, that team is a youthful team. It's an important part of the club, and in many respects, it's the future of the club. So it's important that they get as much support from the likes of myself as possible. Unfortunately, spectators are still not allowed to games in private grounds, so we've not been able to open the gates properly to the Heaton Stan fans to support Heaton Stan A. But I know a lot of the supporters are following closely online and following their progress.
Yeah, it shows that even out of lockdown, it's something with the right staff and the right attitude around the club that you can make good progression even without the fans there. It shows that a well-run club with people who put the heart and soul in the club, something good can come from it, which I think is the epitome of non-league football.
I think it helped that team were doing really well before the lockdown as well. And, you know, there's 2 seasons they've had and their promotion hopes dashed by seasons being ended early. So it was quite natural for them to take forward that momentum and want to participate in this cup and win it, because it's no less than they deserve. So yeah, we're hopeful that they get the result tomorrow and get to that final.
Yeah, definitely. Just to touch on sort of the general feel around the club, obviously with restrictions lightening and stuff like that, and sort of looking towards the future where fans will be able to return. Just say what sort of like the general feel around the club is at the moment. Like, is it excitement or nerves or sort of a bit of both, really?
No, it's just we're just looking forward to getting back. We're looking forward to doing it in the right way. We as a club put a lot of effort in during the worst of the COVID period in making sure that it was a safe space for people to come, people safe. And we're not going to be letting our guards down on that front. So we're still very focused on making sure that it's a safe environment when people are allowed back. And at the moment, I guess it's just a little bit of caution because we've been here before and thought things were getting better last summer, and then it went the wrong way again. So we're waiting for the those key dates in the government's roadmap in May and in June to give us that confidence that we are going to get back to normal for pre-season. I engage a lot with a lot of supporters, and everyone's really, really keen to come back. That's what strikes me. So we're not too worried that people are going to be put off from coming back. And I think a match day will be a match day again at some point. We'll still have that buzz. We'll be able to get the bar open. We'll be able to welcome people in without having limits on number of spectators. All those stresses that we had during the worst of it, where we were having to turn people away at the gate, I don't think are going to be there anymore. So it would be good to get Heaton Stand back. And I don't think it's that far away now.
No, I think that you're definitely right there, and that I think fans, especially with non-league, because I think there's sort of a more close connection with non-league than there is professional teams. I think that fans are longing for that real experience, and I think that fans can allow themselves to become excited because, well, fingers crossed that it is around the corner. And I think that them preparations, like you mentioned, should hold the stand in good stead for the next couple of months.
Yeah, so I certainly hope so.
Yeah,
our supporters are fantastic, and they've supported us through the whole period. Simple things like buying merchandise from us makes a big difference. We've put our season tickets on sale, and if we carry on the way we're going with season ticket sales, I'm fully expecting for this to be a record year for us as a club in terms of number of season tickets. So we're going from strength to strength, and a big part of that is the loyalty and the support that we get from our fans and from our sponsors as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the final thing I sort of wanted to ask was, how have those sort of involved with the club with both sort of managing the day-to-day of the ground as well as the playing staff and everyone sort of involved with the stand, how have they managed with being away for so long and under restrictions for so long?
It's hard to tell at the moment because we haven't really got everyone back, until we start planning and operating match days. Like big groups of our volunteers are still waiting to come back, really. So I think it's just been reflective of how everyone's coped during this period. Outside of football, across society, it's been a frustrating few months for everybody, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I wouldn't go as far as saying people have coped well, because I'm the same as everybody. I've been bored at times. I've been frustrated. I've been wondering when things are going to get back to normal.
Yeah.
But knowing everybody that's involved in this club and actually probably across the league as well, I have confidence that people will readjust and normality will resume for us from a football perspective at some point soon.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll leave that there, Scott.